What's going on, guys? It's Mount. Oh wow. What's going on, guys? It's O from Mount Confidence. And in today's video, I want to talk about anxiety, how to overcome it. I want to give you a certain situation. Abdullah left a comment on my fitness channel describing his situation, and the reason why I'm making a video about this is because it's really going to help you out. You're absolutely going to relate to this because it happens to most people. And so let's dive right into it. He says, truly inspirational, and this is, he refers to the video that he watched on my fitness channel. I went from being super fit and having everything turned upside down after a gym injury, which is common after an injury. I became depressed and having severe anxiety because I was unable to go to the gym. I had become so attached to going to the gym that when I was unable to, I started worrying about the gains I was losing and about when I'll be able to lift again. Without even realizing that I was doing to my mind and my body, only after 5 to 6 months did I realize that my worrying state has gone way too far. Something I went through. And I slowly started to make changes like learning to breathe properly, meditate, yoga, and many other things. Sounds like you're on the right track. I made improvements, but one bad thought and it would feel like I'm back to where it started. I know what it's like, things are getting better and then you have this one nasty thought and then it changes everything. So I know what you're describing. I would worry that when I'm having anxiety, I'd have really tight muscles all over my body. You have anxiety of having anxiety, right? Fear of anxiety. It's very common, happened to me. I would worry that I'd injure myself if I start weightlifting again. It gives me so much joy seeing that you're overcome it, and it gives me hope. I also have pretty bad memory fog when I become anxious, and even as I'm writing this, I know for a fact that when you read all this, you're probably going to see a ton of grammatical mistakes. See, I can't even pronounce a word, so I'm not anxious and I'm making mistakes. When I have the brain fog, I literally cannot focus or concentrate or anything, and it's very frustrating because they tell you to get off your mind, to get your mind off of it, but it's super hard when your mind is in the state, of course. And this is why anxiety, there's like thousands of books about, there's like thousands of debates about anxiety, because there's a lot of people that talk about anxiety without experience, and there's people that do have their experience and talk about their anxiety and what they experience, but just because they're experiencing this doesn't mean that that person can experience. But what you're describing to me is, I'll finish the email first. I know this is a lot of writing, but it's me venting out my emotions and it feels great. Great step to vent out your emotions by writing, by, doing whatever. I'm going to work out today and I'm going to fucking beat this shit and get my life back. Love the attitude. If you could you tell me whether you also had similar physical symptoms, mainly tight muscles, tightness around the back, suboccipital region of your head, and your brain, fog, etc. Okay, so let's dive into this situation because it's a very deep situation and that a lot of people are facing. Now, I may be wrong, but I'm almost certain that your anxiety wasn't caused by your injury. It was actually triggered by your injury. There's a huge difference. The attachment that was created towards lifting weights, towards the gym, is both physiological and psychological. Physiological because you experience all sorts of emotions, neurotransmitters firing, hormones, a change of your body's environment, and it can become very addicting. Your endorphins, your just things are going on in your body that make you feel good. It is physically addicting. Psychologically addicting, psychological attachment, because it's the one thing that made you feel more you. It's the one thing that made you feel better about yourself. It's the one thing that you were able to control and progress in. And so obviously there is a physiological or psychological dependency there. You made a big step by introducing yoga, meditation, soft practices, mindfulness, practices, and as you described that it was getting better, it was making you feel better, but it only took that one negative thought that started this spiral, vicious cycle of overthinking, which is basically anxiety. When you're overthinking, you're anxious. Your mind is too occupied, or you're letting your mind control you by letting it believe, or by letting you believe that what's going on in your head is you. But it's not. You've also developed fear of anxiety. Anxiety of anxiety. It's like if you think about it, it's like Inception, right? You're anxious because you're scared of feeling anxious. right? And that's very common because it's unpleasant. Feelings that you get, the tightness around your chest, the tightness around your throat, your neck, your belly, you got digestion issues, mind fog, you can't concentrate, you feel like you're hopeless. You can't do anything. You're tired, you're drained, you're just not yourself, and it feels like you can't do anything. You're numb because of it, and it really becomes scary because you start overthinking about how you're feeling right now and how you're thinking. And so it's a spiral, it's a vicious cycle. You keep feeding it, and it becomes worse and worse and worse. And so what you need to realize is that this anxiety, this mental illness, which really, can be treated naturally without the use of prescription drugs. It's one way that pharmaceuticals make money is by making you think that it's this horrible thing. It's this thing that needs pills to be treated, right? And there is people who have it a lot worse, where they're constantly experiencing panic attacks, and they may need something more than just prescribing what I'm about to prescribe for a short period of time until they are able to do those things. So what am I talking about? Bro, for me, what it sounds like is that you were running away from your issues by going to the gym. And not that there is anything wrong with it. If anything, you're creating a healthy obsession. You've depended on going to the gym. You created this obsession that made you run away from your real problems, from the things that are actually causing you anxiety. Because guys, bro, the first thing that you want to do when you're feeling unpleasant is run away from the situation. It's something that's built within our mind. It's a reactive mechanism that's there from childhood, that's there from just the way our mind works. Some people use junk food to get rid of their problems. Some people use alcohol. Some people use drugs. They smoke weed, or they sniff a line of coke. Some people have sex. There's different ways of going on about things, and you chose to go to the gym to solve your real problems, because anxiety comes from this repetitive overthinking state that's caused from a fear perspective, or caused from a fear circumstance, a circumstance that makes you worry, which causes fear. And what's really making you worry? You gotta ask yourself, what's the real problem? It's not that the fact that you injured yourself, right? Because you can't control these things. These things will happen. And if it's causing you anxiety, then you're overthinking about it because you're overthinking about other stuff. And so the deeper things that you gotta tackle could be low self-esteem from your childhood, could be abuse from your childhood, could be because of your name. I'm assuming you come from an Arab Islamic approach to life, which is, let's face it, it's very closed-minded, and it's very, it could be harsh, it could be abusive in a sense, depending on how strict your parents are, right? I'm not saying your religion is wrong or your culture is wrong. I'm just saying that each culture comes with its territory, it comes with its negatives. And so your culture, your religion, your circumstance as growing up, as being raised, and it doesn't help having parents that use this way of raising you to, this is the right way, this is what you gotta do, stay away from this is bad, this is that. And so you build this, right? As a kid, you don't know. You literally have no restrictions. You're free. You're ready to express yourself in any way, of any, you're a kid. You just want to play, laugh, and you want to express yourself. And then restrictions happen. Conditioning happens, right? What is conditioning? Thousands of habits created when you were a kid, when you were being raised, whatever your circumstance is. And that becomes your conditioning. And so the fact that you're overthinking and becoming anxious and having these unpleasant feelings, to me, there's deeper stuff there. It's not a simple matter of, I hurt myself, right? And so how do you get to know these deeper things? It's with time. It's with meditation. Now, you said that you started meditation, which is awesome, man. That's a great step. But you really got to get deeper and deeper into meditation. You got to keep practicing it every single day. Make it a habit. Because with meditation, you're going to open gates that you have never opened before. Emotional gates. You're going to experience sadness, tears, anger, frustration, all these emotions are gonna come gushing out, because anxiety, it's another form of it's not expressing that energy that you have, right? It's letting it be up here in your mind rather than your body, which brings me to my next point. Get into your body. So you said you started stretching, right? And you said you were gonna get back to the lifting. So forms of getting back into your body is as simple as sitting down and stretching, foam rolling, going and doing yoga, which you told me you've been doing, lifting weights, going on a hike, getting involved in activities that really get you into your body, right? Skiing, hiking, things that really get you to move, right? Get you to express and shake that bullshit out of you. So you said you're already doing that, but your problem is that one single thought that's ruining everything that progress that you're seeing. And so what I invite you to do is start journaling your thoughts. Start writing down your thoughts just to get to know yourself more, just to see your conditioning, to see your patterns, how you think. And is it true that you have low self-esteem, right? Which, everyone does nowadays. Everyone has a low self-esteem. Let's be honest here. And we're working together to increase that, to increase our confidence. It's what we do on Mount Confidence. And you need to realize that, dude, anxiety cannot kill you. Anxiety is not, yes, it has unpleasant feelings and it makes you feel like you're gonna die, but you're not going to die. Nothing's gonna happen to you. So you gotta affirm, right? Again, affirmations. Placing positive things in your mind as frequent as possible. That alone is going to change your vibration, change the way you think, change the way you feel. If you're thinking positive, you cannot experience negative. If you're thinking positive, the only thing you can experience and attract are positive things. Overthinking, anxiety come from negative, too much negativity up here. And so you need to do things that are going to create a much more positive environment, by getting into your body, by meditating, experiencing these negative emotions that are stuck in your body and your mind, letting them gush out, and by affirming and visualizing. Affirming the positive things that you want to become, affirming the positive things that you already have in your life, and visualizing the things that you want in life. The things that you really want to experience, right? It's a way of communicating to your subconscious mind. It's a way of really getting into these negative vicious cycle habits and stripping them and removing them from your mind and putting more positive images, right? You're trying to balance out your mind. When they say that you are experiencing a chemical imbalance in your brain, it just means that you're experiencing a chemical, imbalance in your brain. More negative, less positive, right? Which results in neurotransmitters being affected by what kind of thoughts you entertain in your head. And so, again, bro, get in your body, keep getting into your body, keep lifting, keep doing yoga, go into meditation, let those emotions gush out, let those emotions come out. Don't judge these emotions. They're there to serve you. They're there to tell you that your anxiety is coming from a much deeper place, coming from childhood, coming from the past. It's not coming from, I hurt myself, right? And, I'm talking, I'm not here to judge you. I'm talking from something that I've experienced. So I know what it's like. I tore my hamstring and I had tons of anxiety, bro. Tons of anxiety. And at the time, I was having this transition in my life. Me and my ex at the time, we were dating and we broke up. And I was just going through a fucking just huge shift in my life. And it was causing me a lot of anxiety. And so, let it gush out. Let these emotions come out. Let them burst out. Okay? And keep affirming and visualizing. Affirm and visualize. Affirm and visualize. Affirm and visualize. Make it a habit. Listen to motivational music, motivational songs. Surround yourself with positivity. If there's anyone in your life that's negative, get rid of them. Okay? Get rid of any negative circumstance that you have that you can control, right? Because let's face it, you can't control everything. There will be circumstances that are going to cause you to feel negative things. It's part of life. But control your situation, control your surroundings, control what you think about. Get into your body, let those emotions gush out, and boom, you're gonna feel a lot better. Your life's gonna change. Your anxiety levels are gonna it's gonna like go to almost zero. I've experienced, like I said, you know, you've watched my video, you've heard my story. I've experienced anxiety for years, right? And so this is my way of how I dealt with it, and I think most people can cure it. It's not an illness. It's this state of mind that we get into because of how life can be sometimes, because of how shitty we can be about ourselves. You know, cause our parental conditioning to affect us, to put our self-esteem down, put our confidence down. And this is what we're trying to do on Mount Confidence, to increase the confidence, increase the self-esteem, to climb to the top of Mount Confidence so we can feel absolutely amazing. So I hope this video has been helpful, motivational, inspirational, just all of it, man. I wish you best of luck, and until next time, signing out.